Hi, Rich Spezzano here from DigitallyFearless. And today I'm going to show you how to take a bad photo and turn it into some sort of artwork. So don't throw away your bad photos. And if you don't think it's workable, I can show you that I was in the Antoine Duteau Museum. I was also in Art Space Fine Art Gallery. And that's what I did. I took some bad photos at one time years ago, and they were very low quality photos, and I blew them up, and I created some interesting artwork and very colorful artwork, which a lot of people do like, and I have sold many pieces. So I'm going to show you how to do this. I'm going to show you the one that I created in the past. Obviously, I'm only going to take a few minutes to show you this in a shorter tutorial, so it won't come out like that. And I really don't even know how it's going to come out until I'm done. I also just bought an iPad, and it's the first time I've ever used an iPad. So I'm doing the same tutorial on the iPad, so you might see two videos with the same one. And it's interesting how I'm trying to adjust from the desktop version to the iPad. But I'm getting there little by little. I've been playing with it for a week. And if anyone's interested in that, you can watch that video also. So let's get started. So here's an old photo I took. I was in Mexico. It was a really lousy camera. When I say lousy camera, let me show you the dimensions of this document, resize document. This particular, this is how old this photo is. It's 640 pixels by 480 at 72 dpi. Now, that's pretty lousy, especially considering how it is nowadays. So basically, I'm going to resize this up quite a bit. So let's try, and it doesn't really matter so much because I'm going to be doing things to it. So you're not looking at a perfect photo when we're finished with the artwork. So let's resize this, and I'm going to go by inches. I prefer inches in my head here. So it's an 8 by 6. So let's say I'm going to make this an 18-inch photo, 18 by 13, and I'm going to resize it. Okay, so now it's 18 by 13. And I'm going to duplicate this layer, Control or Command J. And I'm just keeping the old one just to keep it as a reference. I'm going to, well, it's already locked because it's the first layer, and I'm going to hide that layer. We're going to go to Adjustments, Curves, and I'm just going to play around right now. For example, I might go down here and maybe choose one up here and then go down, pick another one up here and go down, and maybe another one up, and then maybe another one down. And it's doing some very weird looking things, and that's okay, because that's the whole point of this. I want it to do weird stuff, and we just got to figure out which way we want it to be. So let's see. If I go that way, it looks like more reds show up. I like that actually up here. And again, I'm not trying to do a photo. Let's make that very clear. And it's not going to come out like my first ones did, because my first ones I spent a lot of time on this. So much more time than I should have probably, but it worked out because I sold them. So let's try this. Let's bring this one back up. No, I don't like that either. So let's see. Up and then down maybe. I'm almost blowing everything out. I mean, it's really crazy how I'm doing this. And that's giving me a yellow sky now. Bring that down a little bit. And let's see what we end up with. I don't know if I'm okay with this, I think. I think I'm going to try and go maybe to the red channel in there now and see if I can add a little bit more red. That's what I want. I'm liking this red here, so maybe I can get some more red there, which I really like the look of that. Not crazy about the sky being yellow, so yellow, and I kind of like that too. Let's see what we can end up with. Let's see. That way. Or maybe up. No, we want that the blue to be nice. I'm going to go a little like that. And I'm going to leave it like that. Again, I've done this before. When I when I actually ended up with pieces that were 18 by 20 inches, and I have them framed and everything, and they looked great. I'm doing this very quickly now, so it's not going to be perfect, but I just wanted to give you an idea of what you can do. So let's leave that. Let's see about maybe, I don't know. I don't really know. Let's look what we can do. We could try for a color balance if we want. If we want to add more reds in there, we can go this way. And maybe the yellows, cut the yellow back a little like that maybe. And let's move to more of a magenta. And I'm kind of okay with that too. I'm lowering the sky, the reds out of the sky a little bit. I'm not really crazy about the sky, but like I said, I'm going to rush through this just to show you in the end what you can do. Let's do the next part. Don't have to do this, but I really prefer, just in case, I'd rather do layer, merge visible, which gives me a flat layer on top, and then I can close this one out. Now I'm going to add another layer on top of that, a brand new layer. I'm going to go to my brushes and choose maybe oils, and then I'm going to go to the stamp tool, and hopefully I'm using one of these oils when I'm using it. So the stamp tool is here, and I want it to be layer beneath. So it's only going to paint this thing on the layers beneath. So that's what it's stamping. So I'm going to pick a spot. I'm going to hold Option, and the key is usually you hold Option, you click a spot, and then you move over, and that's when you start painting. But the key here is not to do that. The key is to pick something like this corner, say, hold Option, click, and then let go, and then start painting. And what I'm actually doing is painting over this with an oil brush. And I'm trying to do this, and I don't know if it's coming out or how it's going to work because I'm not using a pen. So we're going to see how it works, but just so you can see, let me look at the layer. If I hide the layer below, this is what we're doing. So I'm kind of painting over it. And what that does is it doesn't really matter as much at the fact that it's a low quality photo because you're using an oil paintbrush, which is mixing it in. And it's helping the view, it's helping the look of it. And I don't have to use the same brush now. I could switch around, and I don't know, maybe I'm going to go across with the water. I always suggest you go whatever the background is first, like that maybe, and I'm just going to keep going here. And let's see what we're at. That's where we're at. And then maybe right after you do that, and you don't want the brush strokes to look so much that way. So what you do after that is maybe you could pick another brush, maybe something like that. Make it smaller. I'm using my left bracket, and maybe go this way and that way and that way. And that's how you can kind of get the ropes in. I should do the sky before doing that top rope. But you get the idea of what I'm talking about here. So I'm going to keep playing around, and I might speed this up just so you could see what I'm doing here. That's not bad. And I'm also going to put a background of probably a light gray, a neutral gray, just in case there's any white showing through that shouldn't. And if you don't want the whole photo, by the way, see how the edges are? You can make some fun edges too. But now I'm going to go back, and now I need to paint with a smaller brush. I'm going to just put in these ropes, like things like that. I just play each photo, it works differently. So let's see where we're at. Okay, so now that I'm done with that, I'm just going to hide the back, and I'm going to do on top of the back a new fill layer, new fill layer. And I guess I'll do like a grayish, a neutral gray of some sort, just to make sure that any white space behind it that wasn't supposed to be there doesn't show through. And let's see how close we can get on some of these. Again, this is not a perfect thing. I'm doing it very quickly. I'll show you the one that I did do. At the very end, I'll show you the actual picture that was framed and all. But it's not bad. I mean, you just remember what this photo looked like before. I'm going to turn it on. And that's what it looked like before. It was just a basic photo. It was pretty bland. And that's what it looks like now. And I think it became a piece of art. And people did like it, and it was hung in the galleries. Don't throw out your old photos. Play with them first. And if you can't make it work, then you hit delete. But sometimes old photos come out pretty good, and even low quality photos. This is perfect for low quality photos. And you can add painting, you can add more color in here, and you can paint on top of them. But I just wanted this to be a very quick tutorial. So please click that like and subscribe, and don't forget to check out my iPad tutorial, which I'm just getting used to. If you use iPad at all, just check that out, and have a great day. Thanks. Bye.